everyone, it's Melanie here from Bright House Sense, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. As you probably saw by the thumbnail, I've labeled this video Layers of Disappointment. So the tariffs have taken effect as of August 29th, and the shipping from Canada to the US is changed astronomically. It's crazy. So I want to talk about that in my video today and just sort of give like a little business update and get your thoughts. And maybe if you're a small business and you're watching this, maybe you're new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Maybe we can get, some chats going about that. So let me just sort of give an overall view of what's happening for me. So I'm in Canada and 85% of my orders are shipped to the States. So the shipping already is like not cheap, but I've managed to get it to like $16 USD, which for me personally, I think is crazy. That's still a ton. So the tariffs took effect. Now, it's impacting the shipping like beyond astronomical. The least amount of shipping that I've been able to get, and that's for like the lightest package that I could possibly package, is $40. And it ranges up to $80 to ship one package. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not even reasonable. It's just not doable, right? So I can't ship to the States is what's happening here. So that's devastating. It's devastating for a few reasons. 85% of my orders come from the States. So, I mean, that just chops my whole business. 15% is coming from Canada. So yeah, it's like a massive number. It's a massive number. And it's not like I have, thousands of orders coming through here. You know what I mean? When I do a launch, maybe I'll get 30 orders or so. So if 85% of those 30 orders aren't coming in, then it's like, ooh, that's hard to maintain a business, right? So there's that. And that's very disappointing. And I understand, the tariffs are what they are, and I get why they're being implemented. And I think I'm mostly angry at myself because I knew this was happening, and I had spoken to the shipping guy at the place that I use several times. Like, I'm talking for the past 6 weeks. And I've been like, hey, can we talk about the tariffs and like, how is that going to impact and what am I looking at and what are prices going to be? And he was like, oh no, the tariffs will not impact you because you're shipping under $800. And I was like, no, but that's the whole point to it. Right now, there's no impact because I'm shipping under $800. But as of August 29th, they're removing that. That's what the tariff is. It's removing this whole idea of small businesses shipping under $800 worth of items are not paying duties and all that stuff, right? It's like, that's what they're removing. And he kept being like, no, but with us, it's fine. With us, it's fine. Like, it's not going to impact you. And I talk to this man all the time. Like, he's the guy that I talk to, that I go there when I drop off my packages several times a week, right? So then I was like, okay, I guess the shipping carrier I'm using has figured it out, right? I guess. So we must have talked about this 12 times. So then, of course, I go to send a package yesterday, and it's like, nope. It's $80. And I'm like, oh my God, it's $80. Okay, so that's the end of that. So then I go to him, like I go there because I'm calling, I'm emailing. Of course, nobody's responding. I'm sure they're getting 1,000 calls, right? So I go there and I see him. I'm like, hey, just wanted to check in. Like, maybe I'm missing something. Is there a way for me to get like my shipping that I had before? And he's like, oh no, like you have to pay the duties and all the stuff now. And I'm like, but we did talk about this probably like 12 times, and you told me there would be no impact with you guys. And he's like, oh no, I didn't say that. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's like, I'm more mad at me because I knew this, and I should have prepped accordingly for this. And it's like, I don't know. You can't trust it. There's no trusting. We don't trust anybody. It's like, So anyway, that was my experience there. And of course, it is impacting my business, and I will not be shipping to the States. So effective immediately, I don't have orders that I can send to the States, which is devastating. Okay, so let's talk about hold on. My whole video was gonna be layers of disappointment. We're gonna go through the layers of disappointment, okay? So I wanna first let me start by saying I recognize that this is wax. This is home fragrance, and like my health, the health of my family, like everything's okay over here. We are blessed. I am blessed over here. So this is just home fragrance, right? So I'm very well aware that we're talking like surface levels of disappointment, right? Because I think there's a bunch of people in this world and probably a bunch of people watching this that are like, girl, I have real problems over here. And, you know, I don't want to, this is obviously a wax problem. So, okay, first a layer of disappointment. I was a Scentsy consultant, was enjoying myself. I loved Scentsy wax. I enjoyed being a Scentsy consultant. It was all good and great. Scentsy made some decisions that I was like, I don't like this. And it was disappointing for me. That was the first layer of disappointment. And I was like, I can't be dealing with Scentsy anymore. So I left Scentsy. So that was layer one of disappointment, right? Then I was like, okay, I'm going to do my own business. So I'm like, this is great. Actually, it worked out in my favor that Scentsy made these decisions that I didn't agree with, because I wouldn't have started my business if they hadn't done that, right? And I've been thinking about doing my own wax business for years and years and years, and I just never did it because I'm like, if I do it, it's going to be full on. Like, it's not, you know, it's not nothing to run a business. Like, it takes a lot. So that's why I never really did it before. But when I was going to cut out Scentsy from my life, I was like, well, I gotta make my own wax. So I did, okay? So that was excitement. That was a layer of excitement. So then, you know, everything's going okay. Lots of hiccups, lots of like ups and downs, lots of figuring out how to make it all work. But, you know, I'm getting there and I'm doing great and I have tons of support. A bunch of you guys probably watching this video have supported me and do support me. Just watching this video supports me. So, yeah, then, you know, the tariffs are happening. I know that they're going to happen, but somehow, some way, my shipping guy has me convinced that that this isn't going to impact me. I don't know why. This was naivety on my end. So, of course, it does impact me. So now I can't ship to the States. That's the second layer of disappointment, right? Because that's 85% of my orders. So that's like just cutting it into very minimal, very minimal. Now, I'm not going to give up on making my wax. I really enjoy it. I like it. I'm having fun with it. It's enjoyable for me. It's something that I'm really like when I'm working at it and I'm doing it, it just feels like fun. It doesn't feel like work, right? Which is what it should be. So, okay, I'm going to keep doing it for my Canadian customers. And so it'll just be on a smaller scale, of course, which is fine. So then, okay, now there's a deeper layer of disappointment. And this is the layer that goes beyond sort of like the wax, the surface stuff. So this is like the crushing of a dream layer of like, ooh, this is the deeper layer. I think I have cried in the last 2 days 40 times. Like, I'll just be cleaning and tears will just stream down my face. Or I'll just be like having a conversation and I feel the tears welling up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a public place right now. Like, I can't just start randomly crying. I'm not even talking about this. I'll just be like at Pilates talking about a workout and I can feel the tears are coming and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry right now. And like, I don't know. So I've had 30 cries, 40 cries maybe. I've been like cuddling my stuffy. Do you remember these guys from the 80s, the Wrinkle Dogs? If you didn't grow up in the 80s and you don't know about it, oh my gosh, these were everything. First of all, they're like puppets. You put your hand back here. So this is my Wrinkle Dog from the 80s. I still have him. I don't have a lot from that era, but I have a few things. I have like my Cabbage Patch. I have this guy. So I've just been cuddling this guy. It's been great. And I've been crying it out, you know, because we got to be in our emotions. We got to sit in it. It's okay to feel what we feel. I'm sitting in it. I'm being in it, you know, okay. So I'm crying. So, but why am I crying? It's like, am I crying because of the wax? No, I'm crying because of the crushing of a dream. And I think there's going to be so many Canadian businesses, small businesses, that do have a large portion of US customers that is going to really impact their business. For me, this is just like a hobby business. It's not my full-time job. I do have a full-time job that I love, and I don't plan on making wax my full-time job. I just enjoy it as a hobby, right? And that's how I used to do Scentsy as well. Scentsy was just like a fun hobby for me. I enjoy wax, so that was that. And that's kind of how I developed Bright House Scents as a business too. It's just, you know, it's just a fun hobby business for me. So, but there's like people where this is like their business. And I was doing all the research, reading all the reports, watching all the news things. And it's like, they are saying 20% of Canadian businesses are going to have to close their doors within the next 6 months because just, you know, their sales are coming from the US and the shipping won't be reasonable. A customer's not going to pay $80 for shipping, right? That's insane. And the company can't pay it because then it's like, well, then I have to increase my price by $80, which is not going to work, right? So anyway, that's that. It's devastating. But here, let's get into the crushing of a dream. Okay. So I have 2 dreams in life, okay? Actually, I have 1 dream in life. And outside of, you know, having my family health and, you know, my son, and so let's assume that that's the ultimate dream, dream 1, healthy family, you know, everything's all within reason. Let's set that aside because I think that's like the number 1 dream for most people in life, right? To make sure that that's all in place. So let's just talk about like my personal dreams outside of that. 1 dream, okay? Now, you guys know I'm a voice actor. I've mentioned this on my channel many times. So, you know, I'm a voice actor and I don't make enough money as a voice actor for this to be like my full-time job, right? Like it doesn't pay a mortgage. Although I do have bookings and I do, you know, a lot of animation stuff and cartoon stuff and stuff for kids that I love. It's so fun, but it's like a hobby business kind of thing, right? Like it's not to the point where I'm in Hollywood making enough money that I can sustain life, which is why I'm also a talent agent, you know, to pay the mortgage. So that's sort of what I do full time. And I love that. And wax was never something that I wanted to replace that with. So my dream, we're getting to it. I know I'm talking a lot, but we're getting to it. Okay, my ultimate dream is to be a voice of a lead character in a Disney feature film. Okay, I'm not talking 1 or 2 lines. I'm talking the lead. Or if there's like 2 or 3 or 4 leads in the movie, you know, one of the leads. Disney feature film, okay? That's not easy to achieve. That is hard to achieve. Disney uses celebs, right? Which I am not. And even when they don't, it's not easy to even get the audition. Never mind, you know, win the job. Getting into the room, getting the audition, that is difficult to do. So that's my ultimate dream where I will say like, I did the thing I set out to do. And I have been dreaming of this since I was about 4 years old. I can't remember a time where I haven't been dreaming of this. Like this has been it. This is like the thing that I would wish upon a star. You know, when you're a kid and you look up at the stars and you see a shooting star and you wish upon a star, like, how Disney sings it when you wish upon a star, right? So this would be the wish upon a star for me, was like, I want to be a voice of a lead character in a Disney feature film. So your girl's up in her 40s now. I've been trying to manifest this dream since I was 4 years old, right? So we're going on like a solid almost 40 years of trying to manifest the dream that is extremely difficult to manifest. So, you know, I get to that point where I'm like, little 4-year-old Melly won't let it go. She's not going to let this go. She's holding this until she dies. She's going to pursue it and work towards it, or she's going to die with the dream, right? She's never going to let it go. But as a person in my 40s, it's like you have to, I can only pursue it so much. Like I'm at this stage in my life where the last 10 years I have worked very hard at pursuing what it is that I want. And I've gotten myself to the point where it's like, I can't go further myself. There has to be some external change, or like someone new that I network with, or there has to be something else that comes into play for me to like go to the next level, right? So when you reach that point and you're like, oh, I've done all the work that I can do to achieve this and I haven't achieved it. And okay, well, now what? What more can I do? Well, okay, there's nothing more that I can do right now. So, what do you do? What do you do? Okay, so for me, what I did was like, I need to stop focusing my energy on this. I've done everything that I can do at this stage. It's like the universe is gonna let it happen or not, you know? So what's the next goal? And the only other thing I really want is the wax thing. I love home fragrance. So I'm like, okay, the next goal is, you know, let me do my own wax business like I've always dreamed of doing. Okay. So these are the two dreams. This is it. These are the only things that I'm like, these are the things I really would love to accomplish. Everything else is great, good, grand. I have goals and I do things, but it's like, they're not the dreams of life, right? And even the wax thing is not the dream of life. It's like the secondary dream. The dream of life is Disney. The secondary thing is like wax, because that's what I love, right? So it's like not the dream of life. So you get to this reality where I'm like, uh-oh, the secondary dream is coming crashing down. The original dream, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen yet. Right? I'm still believing though, because little 4-year-old Melly can't let this go. But so when this happened and I realized that like this massive portion of the little business I've created is not gonna work, it was like this disappointment of like the dream. And not even like the secondary dream. Like I haven't accomplished the first dream. So it's like the deeper disappointment is like, oh, I'm not accomplishing the first dream. And now I'm also not accomplishing the second dream. Yikes. That is what brought the tears. Yep. I've cried like 30 times. That is what is so deep. That is like the layer. That's the next layer down of like, okay, not only is the wax dream it's not that it's not going to happen. It's just going to be, smaller, or it's going to take longer. But it's like, ooh, but we were doing the wax dream because the first dream wasn't working out, right? Like we wouldn't be making wax if we were voicing a Disney character, you know what I mean? But we're not. So now we're on this dream and now it's like, uh-oh, that's coming down too. So, yeah, layers of disappointment. Okay, so I say all this and now it's like, what's the solution? For me and the wax thing, there isn't a solution to it. This is just what it's gonna be. I'm only gonna be shipping to Canada. But what about the dream? The dream crushing, what's the solution? There isn't really a solution there either, but I think we can choose how we're gonna respond, right? So it's like, we become what we think about. And if that's true, which I strongly believe that is true, then whatever way your mind goes is the way that life is going to unfold, right? We become what we think about. Whatever it is you're thinking about, whatever your mindset is, that is what's going to be returned to you. I'm a firm believer in this. So, okay, I have to choose how I'm going to think about this, right? Am I going to cry forever? No. Am I going to have a few days of crying? Yep. I'm going to let myself sit in my emotions for sure. But then I'm going to continue to be blessed. I'm going to continue to think about all the amazing positive things that have come from all of this. And who knows what kind of amazing positive things will come from the next chapter, right? I'm just onto the new chapter of the dream. So for me, I remain blessed. I recognize that things are given and things are taken away, but we could choose to be blessed throughout it, no matter what, right? And our mindset can remain positive. And if it does, then positive things will come into our life. Whatever those things might be, they might not be the things that we thought they would be, or they might not look how we thought they might look. But nonetheless, we manifest our own reality. We become what we think about. So for me, I am going to sit in my emotions for probably another day or two. And then I'm going to continue to be Bright House Scents. One of the reasons that I chose the name Bright House Scents from the very, very beginning of like my journey with wax was because I think home fragrance brightens your mood, right? It brightens how you feel. It impacts, for me it does anyways, it impacts my feelings. And the more positive and bright that I can feel, the more positivity and brightness is going to reflect back into my life. So it's like that law of attraction, right? If we're putting out that brightness is going to come back. And that's why I chose that name to begin with, because, you know, home fragrance brightens your home. And if your home feels bright, then, you know, you can feel bright on the inside. And if that's what you're putting out, that's what's going to come back. So I'm going to remain bright and just continue to like push forward and see how it all pans out. Yes, there are layers of disappointment, and yes, it is okay to feel those layers of disappointment and to cry it out. And then, you know, after that, keep it moving. That's what I'm going to do. So I wanted to share this video just on the couch. Every time I'm on the couch, I'm talking about the realness. I noticed that every time I do a video on the couch, I'm getting into all the realness here. So I wanted to do this video. I wanted to share the little update on my shipping, but then I also wanted to just share a personal update and talk about the layers of disappointment. I'm sure we've all been there. I mean, I'm sure every person watching this has had layers of disappointment in life, and probably far deeper than the ones I'm talking about, you know, because the layers of disappointment, they could reach real deep. It goes from disappointment to devastation to despair, right? Those layers can get deep. And I'm sure that you've had that experience too. So I just wanted to thank you for your support. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the encouraging words that so many of you have said over, you know, the years that I've been making these YouTube videos. I'm going to continue to make my content and make my wax on a smaller scale. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on the journey. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.